Hi everyone, it's Diane with Boho Stamper. Thanks for joining me for some paper crafting fun on a Friday. This is actually Thursday evening for me, and I don't know how well this is going to work out. I'm sure there's a bit of a glare, but I've been in the mood to watercolor, and so that's what I'm doing today. That's why I said I didn't know how this is going to work out. I'm not good at watercoloring, trust me. I just signed up for another watercolor class online. I have taken some at our local art and education center, but of course, like with anything, if you don't practice it, you kind of don't get any better. So I thought maybe with some more instruction, it'll get me back into practicing again. So I'm going to do some loose watercolor on this paper, and then we're going to use Wonderful World and this really pretty floral stamp and add a focal point to it. The paper that came with that stamp set it coordinates with these three colors. This is Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky, and Rich Razzleberry. So I have already colored a couple pieces of paper and set them aside to dry. I didn't have watercolor paint that matched that Rich Razzleberry, and so I just mixed up over here on the side of my glass mat. What did I just use? Crimson red and some Prussian blue, I believe, and I think I got it pretty close actually to that. So one of the easiest ways to do a very loose watercolor is to just wet your paper and add pigment to that paper. I unfortunately have a problem with control. I like to be in control. So another way I like to do it is to add the pigment where I want it to be and then spritz it with some water and then let it start flowing. And I can add some darker pigment then where I want to add more color. And I'm not really letting the paper take control, or the paint take control. No, the paper. I said it right the first time. If I wet my paper, the paint is going to flow wherever the paper is wet. I have no idea how this is. Ooh, I got that just a little too blue. What was I thinking? My other colors that I used are more blue. I keep a paper towel handy so that as the paint starts to pool around the edges of my cardstock, and this is watercolor paper. This is actually my last sheet of, what am I using? I'm using Canson watercolor paper, and this is 90 pound for anybody out there who actually knows what they're doing with watercolors. Just know that I'm very envious of you. I have my stamp set off to the side over here. Well, you really can't see anything on this mat. Yeah, the stamp set off to the side so I can kind of see where the flowers are. I'm trying to focus my paint in that area. Let's see. I know that whatever I put on here is going to get all wet and I'm going to ruin it. So there, better. So like I said, I keep a paper towel handy here and then just kind of dab up any watercolor that's going towards the edge of my paper, making little puddles. Still trying to get that a little darker. There. I'm going to stamp a flower. I apologize for my voice. Allergies are beating me. Doesn't even matter what I try. The allergies are winning. We finally just closed the house back up this evening and put the air on. It was starting to get pretty toasty. I mean, I try to keep it off in the daytime, and the house stays pretty cool. It's not bad. All right, let's see how this goes. And we need to put a little bit of, let me see, my other one I put a little bit of yellow in the background, but I don't think I'm going to add that on here. I'm just going to add a little bit of green because we're going to have to add some leafy color here. Oh, I have a big piece of paint on there. That's what that is. I was going to say, why is that doing that? I like to have softer looking edges. Maybe it's going to be alright. We'll see. I did cut these little pieces of watercolor paper down to 3 inches by 4 1/4 because I'm going to layer some paper behind them. I need to put my chair in here. I'm falling. And my flower that we're going to stamp on here after some of these dry will be the focal point then, and then we can just hopefully stamp our greeting right on the watercolor paper. So here's an example of what happens when we wet our paper and add the color. And I'm just using my watercolors that I keep in actually in old Chiclets tin that I just put little pans in. And I take this with us when we go on vacation or whatever, and especially when we go camping and I want to sit and pretend I know what I'm doing. Maybe I won't add any more water. Maybe I'll just let that go. See what happens to it. I'll add a little bit more green down in the bottom then where we can have some stems and leaves. And this is what happens if you don't tape your watercolor paper down, which I usually do not. So, set that one aside and let that dry a little bit. And maybe I'll do one more, trying to get more. Did I get a violet one over there? I think I did get a violet. And did I get a blue starry sky one? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, maybe I'll do one with this. I haven't done either one of these flowers really. No. So that first one looks like it should be maybe a cabbage rose. Let's go for some, what do I want? I want to try here. Let's do the quinacridone rose. Oh, look at that pretty color. I love how it spreads out like that. That's what I wanted. Exactamundo. Let's put a little green down here where we're going to have some leaves. Pretty dark green. I think I'll add a little yellow to that. Whoop, I guess I just added green to my yellow. I didn't want you to run into my pink. Oh, I like that rose color. It might be just good enough as it is. You know what? I'm not going to ruin it. Don't let me ruin it. Just add a little more pink since that green kind of washed it out a bit. And let it just spread out into the other pink. Okay. Now, my other color that I was having trouble with, as these are starting to dry, that's getting a little gray. So how's everybody doing? Ready for the holiday weekend? I know we have, oh, Monday's the 4th. I might not even have a video. I might. I don't know. We're going to try to get out and help my son. He's starting to get some of his stuff packed up. He's trying to find a house closer to here. He had bought a house a bit of ways for his old job. And so now he's trying to get something a little bit back here. A little closer back here, I should say. So we told him we'd come out this weekend since it's a long weekend and help him with some of the bigger pieces of furniture since we have the trailer, be able to help him. I'm not quite sure what day that'll be yet. I guess that's probably going to depend a bit on Mother Nature, should she decide to shower us or whatever. We'll see. All right, let's put this one away before I just absolutely trash it. And let's move on to, let's get a violet one and maybe get that iris. And the only purple I think I have here is a violet. Let's see, what is this blue? This is too light, I'm sure. Oh, actually, that matches my paper pretty well, though. Yeah, and I actually have blue irises like this. It's very pale. Spritzed my little pans of pigment with some water before we got started to wake them up. And then I figured I just would add the water to my watercolor paper and let it do the work. Oh, that's my towel. And I haven't done any of these since one year that I helped with we sent out cards to all the cancer survivors for that were registered with our Relay for Life. We put little cards in their survivor packets that we made the one year, and so I had made a bunch of cards that were supposed to deliver messages of hope. Hope they did. Get this one done, and then I'll go pull up my other ones that I have on my opposite side of the table here drying. Let's see where we get to. That's a pretty blue. Cerulean blue. Pretty, pretty. All right, and that's going to be it, because we need to have room to stamp a message. So let me close this up and set it aside. And move these so we can get back down to just my craft paper under there, so I don't have too much glare going on. It's the bad thing trying to use anything that is going to protect your table. It usually glares the camera. There we go. Back to normal. Watch me break my mat now. That would make me kind of sad. Don't fall. Oh, you just put it back in the case so I don't break it. I'm typically stamping and not really needing a glass mat all the time. Well, that one got a little bit muddy looking, didn't it? Oh, who knows? Maybe it'll work. Maybe it will work. I was just thinking, I hope my volume's loud enough, because remember my it says it's recording, so hopefully all is well. The one day that I had made my video and then went to check it last Friday. Last Friday's, yep. And there was no sound. Yeah, how's that? How do you like that? And seriously, I don't think I'm going to redo these. So if I blow it with the sound today, then I have no sound. All right, Wonderful World. And I think I'm going to use, let's use the VersaFine Clear inks. Twilight. Oh, that'll be pretty for the Starry Sky one. I think these, maybe. Let's see. We'll try them out on a scrap paper and see what each one is going to look like. I don't need Shady Lane. There's Black, Nocturne. Morning Mist is kind of a gray. That might be pretty on that if I don't know the Twilight. I don't know. And the Chianti probably would work well for the Rich Razzleberry papers. All right. I'm going to use my stamp platform. I'm a little concerned that because watercolor paper does have texture, and you go to stamp directly onto it, sometimes it's not a nice clear impression and you have to stamp a couple of times. And I'm going to move my water and brush before we end up wearing it. Oh, good grief. Let's just drop everything everywhere. Yeah, because that's what makes it fun. Okay, I know I'm not going to use green, so I'll put that under there. And a couple extra magnets. And to position this where I think I'm going to want it to be, about there. I can pick up my stamp and then secure my paper. We'll do this one first with just the Nocturne ink. I do like the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. It does give a really nice, crisp black stamp. And I've used Memento Tuxedo Black for years and years. But this is becoming one of my favorites. I think I like it. I'm not down here far enough, am I? I think I like it a lot. And it actually stamped on the watercolor paper really well. I don't know what I'm going to put as a greeting yet. Do I have another one dry that I'm using that? I think I was going to do this. Still looks damp on this side. Feels pretty good there. It's a little damp, but I think it'll make it. I didn't really want to have to use my heat gun on this. It's about 90 degrees, like I said, and didn't really want to add any more heat. Hot enough. And it's not too bad either. Cool beans. Let's try, what's that blue one that I said? The Twilight. That's a pretty color too. Sorry, I forgot that shakes the camera really bad. Sorry. Oh, does everybody have a headache now? Oh, look at that. I suppose I can put a little bit light back here now. Oh, I like it. I think I'll do this one with the Twilight also. Or I don't know if my iris papers are going to be dry. So, do I want to do the same flower? Or let's try the iris. Why not, right? Pick up my stamp. Ink it up. I'm going to use that Twilight ink again. That's nice. I first got this ink when I went to the Scrap Stamp Art Tour, I believe it is. And that's coming back in a couple weeks here. I might get to go again. Yay! All right, now I think that one's dry enough. It might be. Might. Oh, but I have to move my stamp because I planned that one a little different. I was going to bring it up from the bottom right, and I put my green on that side. So I'll have to see this year if I do get to go there about maybe getting another color or two, because I really do like it. This is really stamping exceptionally well on watercolor paper. I'm very, very happy with that. Still a little wet. Okay, the other three are kind of damp yet. This is our one that I think is going to be a little bit weird. I don't know if it's going to work. Try. Oh, I had one more that I was going to do an iris with. All right, let me mute you for 1 minute. I will draw these last three, and then we will stamp them and put some cards together. Okay, hopefully that worked. See, they do warp a little bit more when you use the heat gun. I think when you let them just air dry. Oh, did I hit you in the head now? When you let them air dry, I think it does dry a bit flatter. And our little rose. I think I was going to try in this Chianti. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. This one is... Oh no, I did the bad thing. I don't know if I'll be able to salvage this or not. Or maybe I should have done it in black. Or maybe not. I guess it's not bad. Oh, I'm going to move it again. So I put my paint on the other side. Off my finger. Well, you know what? While this is in here, let's get our greeting. So we need some greetings for this one. How about... Oh, geez, I got all my Christmas ones started. You can use Nature's Prince as some beautiful font. Oh, you know what? I didn't check to make sure that I had this one straight. Yes. Whew. Could have made a mess on that really fast. Sometimes when, I know there was one stamp set, and I can't remember which one it was, when I put my stickers on the back of the stamps, I know I added a couple of them a little crooked. Okay, I'm good with that one. I guess this one would be pretty with that sentiment. That was our Twilight. Isn't this font pretty? It's so fine and scripty. All right, let's switch it up now, and those would be nice for get well cards. Best wishes and happy thoughts. Where are you? Right there. I'm gonna give that one a check first and make sure that I have it straight. So I'll line it up on my paper where I'm going to want it. I'll ink it up and then test it on my grid paper underneath. That's why there's so many fonts on here. Whoops. Actually, it's going uphill a little. So let's try that one more time. Well, I got that one way off crooked. Oh, now I got it stuck on my camera stand, and that's not coming off. Oh, come on. Oh, good Lord. Oh, what was I doing? Over here. Come here. Oh, it's always fun, right? Always something fun. Now we need to line it up. I want it to be. Hopefully there's no ink on there. I did wipe it off, but you never know. Now let's see if it's straight. Oh, what an ordeal, right? Sorry. I Get it straightened out. Am I going the wrong way? Oh, I made it too low. Oh, I didn't. That looks better. Thanks for sticking out all this mess with me. Sorry, I got a little ink blob on there. I don't think I like that. You guys can't even see what's going on up at the top there, can you? Oh, I was afraid if I had my stamp in the screen, you wouldn't be able to see the paper. That's cute. Have another blue one? I do. Is this going to work in the same place though? Probably not. Probably need it more to the right. And that's what happens when you don't stamp them all the same. This would be good for a birthday. Yeah, I can't remember if I did that in black or... Oh yeah, I like that. Very much. Very much. And I think... Oh wait, this one's in rose. See where I got that lined up out on this. That'll work. We have all these colors everywhere. Nice. I hit you in the head again. I'm such a mean stamper. Alright, and then let's just do our few with black ink here. How about, hello there. I think this one we'll put down towards the bottom of the picture, our image. So let's make sure first that it's straight. Good, 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 good. Add our image back on here. This is like mass production, but you know, if you're going to get the watercolors out, you may as well do a couple of them. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Here, give you a little pat on the head. I have that, I do have it pulled down because I did my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery video earlier today, and I had it pulled down a little bit closer to the stitching so it was easier to see. And I forgot to lift it back up. Great. So now we can put some cards together. And we do have some options too. We can also add some splatter to those cards if we feel they need anything else to it. And then of course there's always the bling, you know. Can always add bling. Sometimes I don't really want to though. Oh, actually, you know what? That's not too bad at all. I don't know about that. Might be a little too pink. That one will work. This one needs a violet. That one needs a little bit more of a rosy color. You know what? I had some down here that was an unknown color to me. I bet that one will work. So we can add a little bit of a background paper to these. We might have to do that. This paper was just so pretty, I wasn't sure I wanted to use it. Whoops. Okay, so we need some 4" by 5 1/4" mats. Isn't that paper beautiful? I was kind of hoarding it. I wasn't really planning on using that for too many cards because it was so pretty, but then you know what happens. It sits there and sits there, and oh, it's even pretty with that one. And then I end up with all this paper. Oh, we're going here. Ooh, 45 minutes. Get a move on here, D. And we'll get 6 done right off the bat here, and then I can play with colors on the other ones. This might be that what I was thinking of. I think so. I don't know what color this is. But that'll work for that card for sure. And I'll have to get a prettier purple for that. So let's get these together. When I adhere my watercolor paper to the designer series paper, I'm going to use liquid glue because remember, watercolor paper is a little thicker, has a little bit of texture to it. So I can use tape runner just to add the designer paper to my card base. I'll add some liquid glue to the watercolor paper. And quite honestly, I may need to set an acrylic block on this. I think that, I don't know if I already mentioned, if you don't have watercolors, you can use that same technique with your ink. Water your ink down a little bit. You know how we how we squeeze the ink into our lid, and then just when the ink is on the inside, I didn't do it very hard there, then you can just add some water to the lid of your ink pad. Don't add it directly to your pad. Add it to the lid, and then use that as a watercolor. And then you have pretty much everything, any coordinating color from Stampin' Up to match your papers that you want. I just really wanted to use my paints. They're sitting over there, and I wanted to use them. Oops. Oh my goodness. I hit it again. I gotta remember to move that camera back up. I don't want to do it right now because if you remember, my the cord on my camera is starting to give me a little bit of trouble. And every time I move the camera, other than hitting you in the head, it'll shut off. So we're just not going to do that. And this is why I picked the color of cardstock that I did, because I knew that my designer series paper out of this card pack was going to match all three of these colors. And I think before I put the next couple together, just because I mentioned it, we're going to add a little bit of splatter just so you can see what I mean in case you're not used to having done that before. So let's take this one and this one. Some Starry Sky. We'll add a little bit of water to that. And take a paintbrush, some of this ink. Oh, where's my scrap paper? I was going to say I am going to try this out first. There, that'll be perfect. And we're just going to add a little bit of splatter, not a lot. Tap up some of that water so it doesn't drip down in my ink. And then I'll do the same thing with this one and some rich raspberry. Not much in there, did I? No, muscles, you can do it. Let's see if this brush will work. Should be fine. I don't think I put as much water on. Oh, there we go. Oh, my goodness. Spoke too soon. table. Now we have rich raspberry dimensionals. Ooh, I think I even got a little bit on that blue, but that's okay. It looks all right, actually. All right, that one's done. That one's done. That one's done. That one was done. Now I'm trying to not get ink on my paper. Dab that a little bit because they're pretty wet. Is that one crooked? Maybe. Maybe. There we go. That's good. I like the glue off of there too. Nice, dear. Oh, and this one. I know, is this like getting a little repetitive for you? I'm sorry. Like I said, if we're going to get all the paints out though, get your water, get your paintbrushes. Might as well just do a few. I do wish that one raspberry dot wouldn't have gone right on my greeting. And I'm going to end up making a mess. So I need to leave it alone. And here we go. And I'll have a couple more to add to these once I get the other cardstock all folded. And this one on here, I don't know if I'll use that same Designer Series paper, maybe a different one. That one will go on here. And, oh, I lost one. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. And my orchid one. Actually, this is called, I think it's called Moon Glow watercolor paint. Yeah, it's not really orchid. And there we have a stack of cards with some watercolor backgrounds. I got the watercolor. Yay! Actually, a couple of them don't look too bad. They kind of make me, kind of makes it look like I knew what I was doing, right? Oh well, it's very forgiving. So thanks for being with me today. I hope you all have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Celebrate your independence and stop back here again and visit. Don't forget to hit the like button below. Maybe subscribe if you're interested in following. Thanks everyone. Bye.